Okay, this will be an interesting one, but it's something I actually don't like. I actually hate as a general rule, or something I don't like that a lot of people use. Most people actually. It's a very common thing. It's when you're talking birthday parties and parties in general. It's something that's really well entrenched in the party industry or the party world. No one really gives it a thought. It's just a part of what a party typically is. It's just something that's a staple, a party staple, in other words. So it's not something that you rarely go without, even though environmentally speaking it doesn't really make sense, in my opinion. So I'm not happy with the way people use this kind of shit all the time, and it shouldn't be used because it's environmentally unfriendly. It can be potentially deadly to creatures in the sea and the birds of the sea. And yeah, I found this in a place where it could eventually end up in the ocean, or we're near a bay area, so it could end up in the bay and the fish could eat it or the birds could eat it. Funny, they can't tell the difference between a piece of plastic and real food, but anyway, it's not good. Anyway, let's see what it is. I don't think it's been used, and I found it lying on the ground. It's just a balloon. You might think, hey, it's just a balloon. How harmless is that? But basically, if these do end up in the ocean or anywhere where there's water and little creatures, little sea creatures, little birds, they can have this for dinner or lunch or breakfast. Well, I'm being a bit silly saying lunch, breakfast, but at feeding time. In other words, seriously, they can ingest this stuff into their bodies and end up getting sick and dying because it ends up in their guts, but it doesn't break down like food breaks down. Of course it doesn't. It's plastic or rubber. I don't know if that's really rubber, but still, it gets ingested and it can't be good for our wildlife. So it's really sad that this has become, that in this day and age, with all the knowledge we have about plastics being a hazard to creatures in the ocean, we still have these stupid balloons. I know balloons are important, but they don't last long anyway. So in my opinion, if something doesn't last, it's not really considered fun, in my opinion, and that's not much fun because it doesn't look very exciting what I've done here. So I'm just going to leave the dot feeder open so we don't squash this down too far. I think this is the wrong original setting anyway. We need a bit more shadow, but basically, and it's on auto colour. Oh, fuck me dead. I don't normally like to use auto colour. I'm actually going to go straight for the 2 colour for this. That's what I was intending to do, so I'm just going to start with black and red. But basically, balloons are not friendly to the environment. They're basically a hazard, and I just don't like the way people just overuse. Or it's not just overused. In my opinion, they should be banned so they don't kill the little creatures. What can I do about it? That's the thing. I can't change people's views on this. They're going to have to want to do it themselves. And I don't think there's many people who find leaving balloons out of a party, they're not going to find it particularly fun. I know. It's just like I feel like I'm a bit of like the fun police by saying these things, but I'm telling you, these things are deadly, and they're going to affect whether we get able to catch fish. Because if the fish and if the food chain's interfered with by this plastic, these creatures are going to be full of plastic in their fucking guts, and they can't tell the difference between plastic and food and real food. Well, what can I say? But people just go on and on and on with all these environmental vandalism things. Even though they don't intend on being a vandal, they end up becoming one. I don't know. I can't do anything. I just have to fucking hope that people's ideals, hope that people change their ways someday. Now that looks interesting. Yeah, I wish people, I wish I could change people's ways. I wish I could say something about this and have people appreciate my input on the topic. But I'm pretty sure people are going to think this is stupidity, me thinking that balloons must no longer be a part of the party. I don't know, this is not a very good looking demo I'm doing, sorry folks. But I really don't like this attitude towards the environment. But anyway, what can I do? I'm just another one of those people that wants to put a stop to having a good time. Balloons are like totally entrenched in the culture of having a party, and what can I do to stop it? I can't stop you guys from buying balloons. I'm not your fucking boss. I mean, why would you want to obey me anyway? I'm just a fucking nerd. I'm just a fucking nerd, or in this case, a toner head. I'm not anything that you'd want to listen to. I'm disabled as well, so having a disability means I'm a piece of shit. That's how I feel anyway. It's how people perceive people like myself. I've had brain damage at birth, I never asked for it. So I'm basically, I'm not the kind of person that's taken seriously. And of course, even scientists, full-on scientists like even Stephen Hawking was never taken seriously enough by people. People hated what he had to say. So he can't use with text enhanced. Okay, it's a clash. But basically, people didn't take him seriously. And he's dead now. I really feel sorry for him that he never saw whatever. There's got to be a revolution coming. I don't know. I'm hoping on some kind of revolution where things get better, where people boycott balloons or boycott things that are extremely hazardous to our environment. I just wish there could be a way of if people power can come in and basically the companies that make the balloons end up going out of business because no one wants to buy them anymore. That would be good. That would be a good way that people power could help. If people power, we could all protest against the companies that make these balloons, and basically we can make a difference. But it's not that easy, like people just aren't going to give up their fucking balloons just like that, just because we want to make this a better planet. Now we're going blue with this, so no one's going to want. So people who are scientists or people who are big thinkers don't get taken seriously enough these days. They don't get taken seriously, and that's the thing. I'm trying my best to do my bit for this world. However defective my brain is because of the brain damage. Now, it's not all my brain is affected. Mainly the short-term memory and the hippocampus are two of the areas I know that it's severely damaged. And I can't learn things as fast as you guys. And yet I'm still trying to make some kind of difference. Now, this demo looks like it's going nowhere. I'm actually wondering if this was a better one, just laying the balloon on the glass and whatever. I'm just going to make it into something like that because I just want it to look like it's a piece of death hanging over our heads, these balloons, piece of death to the wildlife. These things that usually give us such joy at our birthday parties and any other occasion are indeed death traps instead of things to be called fun. I just don't see it as fun anymore. I don't see, and I don't think they're good for children, because if they burst, they make a terrible noise, and I once had my ear gave me a fright when I was a child, and a balloon burst on me, so it was not good. So I'm not really enthralled with these pieces. I just don't like things that don't last. That's another thing that I've taken in. I like to take into account is that things that don't last, in my opinion, are not fun. You want the thing to last. To have fun with a balloon, in my opinion, you got to make it last. But balloons are not lasting things usually. Usually people just hang them up and then they just go down. And I really hate all these creative things that you do with them, like those balloon sculptures that people often have at parties and shit like that, or at fun fairs. They're not my thing either, and I just hate the way people just make things that don't last. And I just hate ephemerality. I like things to last. I even have a strong critique on the industry that I once was passionate about, and that is the photocopier industry. I want my photocopier to last almost a lifetime so I can enjoy it and not have to pay money to replace with another one. And basically this kind of machine again is made for the short term. Only going to last me, say, 5 years until the spare parts eventually are no longer manufactured. And that really shits me when technology has to go that way, just because the people in the industry can make a lot of money just fucking up it, making things that just don't last. And I hate things that don't last. And I have to put up with this problem in the industry because, hey, I've got no control over the industry. Like other people who I tell that balloons are no good for parties, please desist from using them, they're going to harm our planet. Well, again, I've got no power, and they probably laugh at me watching my YouTube videos, me swearing at them and telling them to fuck off and shit like that, making jokes about, making lurid jokes saying go and sit on this and gyrate, but then I don't know if they're actually laughing or whether they think I'm absolutely just downright disgusting. But I'm disgusted with them, I'm disgusted with their product, I'm disgusted with their attitude. They can literally go, well, not literally, I don't think I'd want to stick my finger up a fucking Konica Minolta man's ass, I don't think, or anyone's ass, including my own. I have used, what do they call those things? Those Microlax, what do they are? They basically Microlax enemas, and that's quite disgusting. Trying to clear up your own jammed up poo. There's nothing worse than shit. And basically I'm not ready to put my finger up someone's ass just so they can gyrate. I just say that because I get so frustrated and so angry. So I just make lurid comments because I'm just so pissed. I'm pissed off. I'm basically over the way the world is, way people are behaving in this world. I'm sick of the way these average citizens, as well as the rich, cause problems. It seems the only people who want to make a difference to this world, but they can't, is the people who are poor. I've heard so many stories about poor people saying that if they got rich, or they would do something to help other people. They would do what the rich don't do. And they just put the rich people to shame. If only they had the money and the power, or at least the money. And that's the same how I feel. I'm not poor to the point where I can't eat, but I'm not rich, and I've got to watch my spending. I can't use air conditioning or heating in my unit because I can't afford the electricity, because the electricity companies are, again, a bunch of fucking pricks. But anyway, I think we've finally got something good out of this balloon demo, as well as the message. I hope you didn't find my message too boring or too... But, this is not our future. This should not be our future. There's got to be better things to adorn your home with, or your business with, when you have a party. There's got to be something better. But what it is, that's a good question. That's another story.